We're now going to turn to Harmeet Dillon. She is a phenomenal attorney and the chairwoman of the Republican National Lawyers Association. Harmeet, thank you so much for joining us. You have been watching this as it has played out, kind of moment by moment. What do you make of these new developments that we've just learned today?
Well, what we know that has been confirmed by the search warrant being revealed is that it was extremely broad, like Shannon just pointed out. And what we don't know, and what everybody wants to know, is what was the justification presented to a federal judge to take this extraordinary step on the part of the United States Department of Justice. And so, generally speaking, that search warrant affidavit or affidavits are not unsealed until there's an indictment. And even then, if there are national security implications, they could be restricted to the target of that subpoena and or the search warrant rather, and his attorneys. And so it's going to be a while probably before we see that. And I suspect that the Department of Justice is not keen to reveal exactly why they took this step. But what we can also say is that a federal magistrate judge does have the ability, and in fact, I think the duty, to cut back on a subpoena that seems overbroad for the circumstances. Now, in reality, they often just rubber stamp them. That's a real problem in our judicial system, and I think that's what happened here. And I really my mind is blown that this can be a justified search of a former president. And so this is deeply troubling for anybody who cares about civil liberties in our country.
I couldn't agree more. Has there been any discussion or what possible steps could be taken to explore any potential conflict of interest given this specific judge who approved this warrant, given his previous political contributions and kind of political leanings?
Well, just about every judge these days has some political leanings or contributions. That itself is not a problem, but this specific judge has made specific negative remarks about President Trump, and I think they rise to the level of recusal. But at this point, after the judge has already issued this ex parte search warrant, which is how it goes, there's really nothing that can be done to unwind that specifically. But a party who believes that a search warrant has been executed unlawfully or it is overbroad or what have you can make certain motions in the criminal system. There's Rule 4 and there's some other moves that can be made to get the return of this evidence. But there are many fishy things about this, so we'll see, including the fact that the government apparently was given access to these documents in June, and their request to the former president was to put a padlock on the room, and everybody went away and thought that this was all under control on the Trump side. And then suddenly they come in with this sort of librarian issued SWAT team to take these drastic steps. And I think that that is very odd. And what it seems to me, and I'm not changing my view based on seeing the search warrant, this was a massive fishing expedition to see if they could concoct any evidence of anything. That is not how warrants are supposed to work in America. And that should outrage every civil libertarian.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. This is about so much more than whether or not people support Trump or against Trump. This is something that is directly connected to every one of our civil liberties. Thank you so much, Harmeet. I really appreciate your analysis as always.
Thank you.